Hello, welcome to my messy fingers. I'm Charlie. I am playing with some leftover papers and stickers from Graphic 45's Flight of Fancy. I had 10 sheets left. I've ended up using 8, and then I have these left, which I will cut and put in here. I'm taking these to some trade shows I've got coming up here shortly. If they don't sell, then they'll go on my website. So you might want to check it after November 21st. But this is one of Uniquely Creative's expanded folios, which means you get a 3/8 of an inch gusset here, and then the 2 internal flaps are about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm using one of the sticker pieces to replace this flower up here. So it will go here with the butterfly just beneath it. And then I have Spread Your Wings, which doesn't look like it's on there straight, but I think it is just an optical illusion, really. Well, maybe I'll try and move it down just a little bit. Makes it look, okay, that's a little better. And then I took one of the sticker flowers and put it down here below this. This one's popped up, so there's a little bit of height to it. And then when you get in here, now I'm usually use ribbon closures. This time I'm using magnet. Works wonderful. So then I have this piece here on my left side, and then on the right side I cut this beautiful butterfly image, and then I took one of the small cards and I backed it onto white cardstock. I'm putting some tape on this, so this ends up being a tuck up here. Nothing permanent can really go here because there's a magnet here, but some smaller items that you can tuck in. You can put a photo down here, but just keep in mind if you're going to make this, you've got a magnet that is sitting over here. And the more paper you layer over a magnet, I don't care how strong it is, it's going to lose its potency for connecting with its partner. All right, and then when you open this up, I have taken a patterns for this side, floral for here. I put on a hummingbird here on this side. And this piece down here is cut from one of the scraps. And then I took the sticker that says Dart and Dazzle. And up here on this, I cut and trimmed a pocket. So it will go right here, and then you've got a nice pocket. And how I got there, if you have these, the die that corresponds with this folio cuts these at about 1/8 of an inch smaller in width and in height than what the actual flap is. So you cannot use the die to cut an extra piece because what you're cutting is this piece. So I put some white cardstock up underneath here, and I actually traced around the scalloped edge, and then that way I got my full coverage, and then I used the die and just cut out a piece that would fit this, and now we have our pocket. And then when you flip this up, we have a wonderful spot up here to put some photos. And then we have a pocket, and you'll be able to slip some photos or some items in here. There's a third part to this, which is a trifold. It fits in here really nicely, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then you've got the pocket that's down here. For these pockets to really function, in my opinion, you need to put some foam on the edges so that it will have them standing up off this page. Otherwise, if you tape or glue them down, you've got a 1/4 inch gusset that now has lost its function because instead of this standing up, it's laying down. And then I took a sticker. This was cut from trim, and then I put a sticker here. And then on the back side, I have this piece. And I took one of the sticker strips to kind of help break up some of the purple and put it on the back. So let's get to putting this together. And this can all be glued. I'm just following the perforated edge around this. Pull this over just a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to remove the backing off these foam strips and put this in place. Okay, just one more to go. Here we go. And I'm just taking this and I'm replacing the one that's on the paper itself. All right, so that's done. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this in place. Now the paper came to me from Scrap and Create, and these were left over from a much larger album that I made for them. So I really appreciate them letting me play with the papers that they send. And these little folios work great. I need to put some more glue. That magnet's pushing this up, so we'll just stick some more glue in there. Push that down. There we go. So that's all set. And now I'll glue this in. If I was working with a larger album, I would be actually taping these pieces down because of the magnets, but the folio is already put together. So all I had to do was set the magnet, close the flap, set the magnet, whereas in my albums, I'm putting them together as I go. So it is worrisome to me that I will have placed a magnet that needs to be moved. So I usually tape down and around the papers on those. Okay, so then we've got this. Now, if you have some of these left over, just pick whichever one speaks to you. Now, I am placing this just inside this perforated edge. So now there's a nice tuck right there. Okay, we're going to open this up. I'm going to start over here on this side. These panels need to go down before you can secure these down, because if you're using pop-up, which I would encourage you to do, because if you use glue or tape, again, you're nullifying the score line for the 1/4 inch gusset. Okay, so now I'll pull the backing off of these. Make sure that your hinge is standing up straight before you tack these down. And then I will glue in my trim piece. I need to burnish this, make sure it's on there good. time I'm done with this one, because there's a little extra work involved, I've had, including this filming, have 4 hours into them. So they go quicker for you because you're not having to worry about filming. And then this beautiful piece. And then I'm going to very carefully, just a small bead of glue around this edge. It spreads, and I don't want it spreading up into the pocket I'm trying to create. So just a little bit. And then I will line this up. Charlie. I think that did that because the glue's not making contact with the paper beneath, because it's layered, and I may need to put a little more glue than I anticipate. We'll let that set up while I'm putting this on. I think we're okay. All right, now we're going to glue this piece on. There's a number of ways that you can enhance these folios with these nice gussets in here. You're able to add some different elements, such as pockets. So we'll get this piece on, and then we can close down the pocket opening. You can choose as well not to close and make a pocket. You can actually keep these as flaps to put additional items on both sides. That's again one of the flexibility of this folio. And I really like the idea of the magnets. I just kind of stumbled across it. Silly me, I should have thought about it before. But the ribbons are fine. They add a real elegant touch. And then we just have the back piece to do. Okay, so that one's done. You've got a pocket here, you've got a pocket here, you have a pocket here, and you've got lots of spaces here to put some fixed items. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It is the trifold. So it opens up like this. And again, I'm using my magnet to close it. Now I'm missing a piece. Where did it go? I think that's it right there. Okay. Close this up. And I put this one here on the inside and this one here on the outside. And again, one of the stickers, and here's another sticker, a hummingbird. I'm going to start in the middle. Now, this is a single score, so you can't really add much of a tuck or a pocket in these. They don't have the gusset to allow it to expand. But these, depending upon the paper you put on these, can be used for a multitude of things. Swap these. You can obviously put photos on them. You can put copies of maybe a baby shower, invitation, photos. You can also use these, speaking of baby shower, as a guest sign-in. Their name, what they gifted, and then maybe how they met you, like at work or at church. Same thing can be done for a bridal shower. You know, it's sad to say, but if you have a wake, you could also use it for their name, how they met the person. They would make great keepsakes. Boy, I sure like that side. I'm going to use that side. I know I've used that floral arrangement before, but this smaller one is beautiful, but I like the other side. So we're going to put this right in here. And then this one will go on the front. Once you get them cut out, they come together quite quickly. And then the back. And I just stuck with the plain blue for the, well, no, let's play with the pattern on the back. Okay, so that one's done. Now let's move on to the last one. It's a smaller one. This could be used to make an invitation. It can be used as a money card, an announcement, like maybe a baby shower or a wedding. So I cut, at this point, I ended up using some scrap pieces because I just did not want to cut into another 12 by 12. There, that breaks that up a bit. just to get these pieces. So these are being cut from scraps. That's why there's some different designs going on here. On the outside, I am using this, and I cut it so that when the envelope closes, that this is what you'll see, like this. You have to be careful with how you cut them because you're going to end up with your images upside down. But then here on the outside, I stayed with the reverse pattern to this. And this one goes here in the middle. And then this one here goes on the bottom. You can see how these all sweep together. Okay, let's get it together. And it's pretty easy to cut these. You just put the piece you want in the placement of the die, or you're going to come in here and hand trace it out. If you don't have, if you have these, but you don't have the die set. Okay, and then we're going to come in here. This is going to go up at the top. Well, I think I would anticipate that better, but I haven't. 3 times now I haven't. I did it right there too. This actually goes on the bottom because it's perforated here across the bottom. Well, I already stuck it down, so it is what it is. I had alternated these so that there was a little bit break in this pattern, but that's okay. Okay, so you can see where you put an invitation in here. This could, like I said, can make a great money card. So when you take these 3, if you open this up, this would make a great gift because you can just snug these right in each one of those spots and you're done. So I hope you enjoyed the project, and I'm hoping that you'll stick around. I've got one more to do, and I'll be all caught up with these. So again, thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.